Now we're still in the letter to the EPHESIAN church. Now in verse 6 of chapter 2 in the book of Revelation, we have another thing that is being addressed, which is also related to compromise of faith, which the EPHESIAN church rejected, called the Nicolaitans. The Nicolaitans were believers who compromised their faith in order to enjoy some of the sinful practices of Ephesian society. The name Nicolaitans may have come from the Hebrew word for Balaamites. Balaam was a prophet who induced the Israelites to carry out their lustful desires. And you can also read about that in Numbers chapter 31 verse 16. When we want to take part in an activity we know is wrong, we often make excuses to justify our behavior, saying that it isn't as bad as it seems, or it won't hurt our faith. Christ has strong words for those who look for excuses to sin. Finally, through John, Jesus commends the church at Ephesus for hating the wicked deeds of the Nicolaitans. Note that they didn't hate the people, just their sinful actions. Accept and love all people and refuse to tolerate all evil. God cannot tolerate sin, and He expects us to stand against it. The world needs Christians who will stand for God's truth and point people toward right living. That is just what I am doing. You see, the Nicolaitans, they are believers who compromise their faith in order to enjoy some of the sinful practices of the Ephesian society. Now, in the beginning of the message, I read to you a brief history of the Ephesian society. We'll call it, it's a lucrative city. It's a city of industry. And it's a business city. So, which is at the shore of the sea, or we say by the seaside. So, ships are docking, and trade was just going on in that city. So we can say that there's a lot of money there, and businesses also. But all the evil that is going on there, the goddess which they serve, that we also use the word prostitution today that we see in the society, is so unfortunate. You see, within this few time, I've also been to some European countries, like in Belgium, in France, and what I see, and then even here in America, since I came back from Europe here to the state a couple of weeks, I've been seeing the same thing. People are walking on the street almost naked. It is frightening. there's no longer respect for our bodies. People walk half naked on the street and they just feel comfortable. That is evil. But here, the Nicolaitans, they claim to be believers or Christians, but yet they compromise their faith in order to enjoy some of the sinful practices of the Ephesian society. So it's like what we have today. There are some folks, even right here in Los Angeles, that call themselves Christians, but yet, you know, they are in the same ungodly practices as those in darkness, or those who claims not to believe in God. So the Nicolaitans, we still have that very much today. We see very present today in the church. Watch out for those Nicolaitans. The Nicolaitans could be that pastor that closes his eyes to sinful practices in the church because he wants people to stay. The Nicolaitans, they are those leaders in the church that are practicing all kinds of immorality and ungodliness and witchcraft and all others in the church. The Nicolaitans could be those that are preaching heresies and they are involved in all manner of things abominable. The Nicolaitans. So you watch out. And some of these folks, when they are caught, they tend to give excuses, you know, to justify their behavior, saying it isn't as bad as it seems, or it won't hurt our faith. It will. It will. Fornication will hurt your faith. Homosexuality will hurt your faith. Lesbianism will hurt your faith. Adultery will hurt your faith. Involved in occultic practices will hurt your faith. It will. Friends, it will. If not now, somewhere along the line is going to hurt your faith. So walk away from it. And in verse 6, through John, Jesus commends the church at Ephesus for hating the wicked deeds of the Nicolaitans. Take notice. He didn't hate. They didn't hate the people, just their sinful action. So you see, we do not hate those who commit these abominations, but we hate their abomination. That is what we are to do. We should hate, we should love the adulterer and hate adultery. We should love the homosexuals and hate homosexuality. We should love those who practice witchcraft and involved in all kinds of darkness, but we should hate their practices. That's what the Bible tells us. We should. But we must never tolerate the evil that these folks commit. The world needs Christians who will stand up for God's truth and point people towards right living. You might be that one. Accept the responsibility.